Happy Halloween.
Happy
Happy
Halloween.
Halloween.
Oh, goodness. Hello, and good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 1-2 Punch podcast. I'm Coach Conway, missing Coach Edwards today. We have our first set of coaches, the new guys on the block. Gentlemen, please introduce yourself. Let everyone know who you are.
My name is Sean Collins, Coach Collins, Mr. Collins. I teach here at the high school. I do IB HODA and Global.
My name's Coach Chambers. I coach boys modified soccer. I'll be coaching freshman basketball this year.
Let's go.
And Coach Conway and I work together at the elementary
Yes,
school
we do.
for phys ed. It's a good time.
Yes, we do. All right, you guys are both graduates of Queensbury. Tell us a little bit about your journey dating back to going here at Queensbury. You can start in high school.
Sure. Yeah, a lot's changed since I was here. We got a new weight room. It's pretty cool in there. I was a one-sport athlete here. I played boys soccer, so that's kind of my thing. But it's really cool to be back. So much support for our athletics program, our phys ed program over at the elementary school is a lot of fun. We're trying a bunch of new things, so we're having a good time and doing our best with it.
Yeah, when I graduated here, the building was still under construction. So coming back, it's beautiful. So many new facilities, the new library. It's really nice. It feels like a whole new building, honestly.
It was confusing. Like the first time
I'm still finding,
stepped in after the whole construction.
New classrooms and new rooms and navigating around the building. In high school, I played football and I played lacrosse. I actually had a transition in college. I went to SUNY Oswego to play lacrosse, NCAA, and then I ended up quitting like the first week. But I joined the rugby team, and I really found some passion and some love for rugby.
Cool. So what got you guys into this profession? What got you guys into coaching? What got you guys into teaching? How did you get here?
Sure. So I was a history major at first. And then, like, when COVID happened, everything switched online. So I started subbing for a little bit. And my first week subbing was for Coach Hubert over at the elementary school when he had his daughter. So I was there for like a week and a half straight. And I decided, like, after the second day, I was like, I need to switch from history over to PE because it's so much fun. It was different when I first started over there because during COVID, we didn't co-teach. So I had classes all by myself, and I had to kind of figure out what Joe's sub plans were.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was fun. And I remember setting up the first game that they were playing like the wrong way, and the kids just started grilling me. Right away.
I
They're like,
love
no,
it.
we do it
I
this
love
way.
it.
So
Dude, they're so funny.
I give props to anybody who like comes in and subs and just does their best with it, because I know how difficult it can be, especially if you don't know the kids' names. But once you start making those connections, it definitely gets easier.
What's your favorite part about the elementary school?
I mean, we're rock stars over there. They absolutely love coming down. Anytime we go through the hallways, it's like you can't say hi enough.
Yeah.
We get to have fun. We get to, teach the fundamentals of PE. I love that we're trying a bunch of new stuff over there this year with like skill development, really shaping those physical standards, and then like reinforcement through gameplay.
Yeah.
So our warm-up has been phenomenal this year. It's been really cool to see them work for like starting at the year like 1 minute, and then finally they're getting up to like 4 or 5 minutes of constant movement. So
Yeah.
just trying all that new stuff, having a good time with it.
Good.
That's awesome. I didn't know you guys were doing that.
Yeah.
So my journey is all over the place. I graduated, and I knew I wanted to go to Oswego, but I really didn't know what major I wanted to do. So I actually started off in zoology.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. I wanted to work with animals. Like, my whole goal was to do something that I liked to do. Like, I wanted to wake up and go to work and have enjoyment in what I was doing. And honestly, I looked at like my class list for the next 2 or 3 years, and I saw like biochem, and science was just not my thing.
Right.
So I dropped to undecided. I went undecided for the whole first semester. I did like a general major exploration course where you took some personality tests, kind of figured out where you would fit in the world and what was kind of best for what you wanted to do. And I knew I'd wanted to work with kids. I've been in summer camps forever, playing sports forever. I love history. Like, that was my thing in high school. And so I made the jump, and I switched over, started doing my student teaching, making connections with kids from, all over the Syracuse area.
Sure.
And then it was just a lock from there. I knew it.
Where'd you
I knew it was
student
a good
teach?
spot. So I actually did student taught at 4 different schools.
Oh, wow.
So I started
Jeez.
off in inner city school in Syracuse called Henniger, and I taught in 10th grade, or I was 11th grade U.S. history. Then I jumped to a more rural school, North Rose Walcott, which is more towards Rochester.
Sure.
And I did middle school there, and that was 7th grade. So I definitely got to see, the difference between high school and middle school.
Yeah.
And then I did another placement in Fulton, which is a small town north of Syracuse, in the high school there, doing 10th grade. And then finally I did a year in the middle school in Fulton.
Nice.
Yeah, and I had a different path too, because after I'd graduated, I actually took a part-time job for a full year teaching 8th grade science.
Interesting.
So I got to kind of get out of, the social studies area for a year.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. I enjoyed all of it. Science is fun.
I'm sure you learn a lot
Yeah,
when you're
yeah.
just thrown into an environment you're
Oh,
not
yeah.
comfortable with.
Right.
But
Yep.
you just make the best.
Yeah, no, the kids were great, building connections, the staff that I worked with that I already knew, so, everything kind of was perfect.
Cool.
It was a good experience.
Yeah, awesome.
What's the favorite part of your job right now?
You
can go teaching and coaching.
Teaching and coaching. I think definitely with teaching, it's 2 months in now, so I'm really starting to see some of the personalities of the students.
Sure.
Starting to build those connections, seeing, where I can support them in their lives. And, them coming in and putting a smile on my face, always makes my day better. And then for coaching, we're wrapping up the JV football year. My favorite part is, that's tough. I love
That
it
is.
all.
That
I really
is.
love it all.
It's a broad question.
I know,
Yeah.
and I hate to say the same answer, but it's getting to know the kids.
Yeah.
It really is. It's like, they're same thing. Their personalities are starting to come out. They're starting to come out of their shell. I got some kids. I got the Dorvies in my classroom.
Sorry
so
about
I can get that connection, in school and then in practice. So just seeing who they are as people and, really seeing them work hard.
Right. Yeah.
What about for you, coaching-wise?
I think modified for me is such a fun level. It's super cool, especially since I've been invested in the Queensbury soccer program for a few years now. It's my 3rd year. Just seeing the progress from when I get them all the way up through. It's really cool having played for Coach Karate to come back and support the program. Him and I coached club team together this past year.
I was going to say, you did a lot to kind of build up
Yeah.
the team, didn't you?
Yeah, so we went from, I think my first year with Empire City, which is the club team we have in the local area, we went from 5 or 6 kids at the U14 level from Queensbury, and then I started coaching modified soccer here, and the next year we had 20 to 25.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
huge.
it makes a big difference. And club team's awesome because we totally encourage kids to play other sports, right? We train 2 days a week for club team just so we can get those touches on the ball and work on player development. But we know that playing other sports, especially at that level, is huge. You just learn so many other things from playing it. So
Absolutely.
we always support them in their schedules, and we do 1 tournament a month. So definitely seeing the progress from when I get them to the time they get up to varsity and JV. So
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
it's really cool.
So you guys being 2 stud athletes from Queensbury, how has your experience as a student athlete kind of shaped and molded your coaching philosophy?
Yeah.
What kind of things have you taken away as a student athlete or as an ex-student athlete from Queensbury?
I think for me, just always giving your best. And I know as a coach, there's guys who have so much stuff going on outside of sports. So just being supportive and open to other stuff they have going on. Obviously school comes first, but when you're at practice and stuff, we want you to give your best. So as a player, I can certainly understand having other stuff going on outside.
Mhm.
As a
Yep.
coach, it's really cool to be there and support the guys through that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could piggyback off that. I 100% agree. Being present and then working hard is really a big thing that I learned. You could do anything that you want, but if you're not going to set the time out or you're not going to put in the work, those dreams that you might have might seem a little bit more distant. And so one thing, being a college athlete that I noticed is that you go above and beyond and you can achieve really anything you want, whether it's in the sport or whether it's in life. So I think one of the big things as a coach that I want to kind of get across to kids is that you do have to put in that work.
Yeah.
It's not going to come easy.
Yeah.
You got to work for it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
and,
great
and we
message.
as coaches, we definitely notice, when kids are putting in their best.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
um,
I think that's the cool thing too, is because we're all graduates of Queensbury,
Right.
so we can relate a little bit more to them because I don't know, I guess we're kind of closer in age to them. We're on the younger side as teachers and coaches, so we're still learning as we're going.
Yeah.
Trying to be the best we can be. But it's pretty cool because we can relate to them. We know exactly what they're going through
Yeah.
and kind of how we can help shape them as
Yeah.
well.
I always
Exactly.
tell the
Yeah.
guys, we were in their shoes not that long ago.
No, yeah.
I figured out this year that I'm exactly twice as old as like my modified boys.
Really?
So I'm like, it was interesting to see, from when I was there to where I am now, just playing sports. I mean, it helps build character.
Yeah.
Like you work through adversity. There's so many challenges, and especially playing a team sport, you just learn how to like work and
Yeah.
help people.
You just build skills that you'll use for the rest of your life.
Yeah, it's
essentially.
huge. It's huge.
Yep.
So I guess that's why we're so passionate about it.
Yep.
Off topic, but it's crazy too that we have students that were born in 2018 and 2019.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the years we
That
graduated.
Yeah.
Like we have students that were born that year.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah, well, even for me, walking around the high school, like, my coworkers are now my former teachers.
Yeah.
So, like, seeing, really anyone, my department itself, like, almost all of them were my teachers at one point.
Yep.
So it's really cool to make that connection, too, to be able to work with someone who taught you, and coaches as well. Coach Crossman was our varsity head coach. I think a lot of my coaching philosophy also kind of stems from that experience in high school
Yeah.
and how they coached us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Even at the elementary school, Mrs. McEachern was my first grade teacher.
No way, me too.
Yeah, so
I didn't know that.
she's still there. I always tell the kids I had her in first grade, and I moved here in first grade, so she did a great job, like
Yeah.
making me feel like part of the family. So
Mhm.
Right.
has
I,
a huge impact.
I had the Morrises.
Yep.
And it's so
Mhm.
funny. Like when I see them, I'll call them Mr. and Mrs. Morris,
I
but they're
know.
like, you don't have to call me that. You can call me
Yeah.
by my first name now.
Yeah, I still have
Which is like it's so weird.
Yeah,
I
it
still
is.
have Pete Karate in my phone as Coach Karate,
Yep.
Yeah.
and I'm like, it just will never change.
Just what it is.
That's what it is.
What's your favorite memory as a Queensbury athlete, and then your favorite memory now as a coach?
Sure. Yeah, I can start. For soccer, we always loved going to South High Under the Lights, their Power Pink game. Those stands would be packed, and it'd be a pretty loud atmosphere. I always remember never losing to them over there, which was cool, especially Under the Lights, Power Pink.
Yeah, those are always cool games for
Special.
soccer. I remember
Yeah.
going to those and
Yeah, yeah.
being in the student section for those.
I remember, I think it was my senior year, we won the game off a free kick, direct free kick we scored from, and I slipped and fell and I was offsides, and I was worried that they were going to call me off, but obviously I wasn't part of the play. So you never know, but
Yeah.
that was really cool. And as a coach, I think my favorite memory was my first year here. We had a really good group of guys. I mean, we've had a great group of guys every year I've been here, but first year I had some really, really committed guys, seventh graders, who, we lost a few games. They were real upset about it, but I know at the modified level, things happen. Like I said, that was that group that came through Empire City. We worked super hard all year. And then as eighth graders last year, we went undefeated, and in 12 games we gave up 4 goals. So
That's
it
incredible.
was a real
That's
special
awesome.
season. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yep.
So when you asked that question, I had a distinct memory kind of pop out, and then my favorite memory. The most distinct memory from high school sports is summer workouts. And
Yeah?
you remember
Really?
that? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Supercats, more specifically.
Yep.
My
you
body
know.
still hurts from
I
those.
know. Yeah, definitely.
I think that's why I'm so
Um,
short. It just
Right.
compressed my spine.
Could
Yeah.
be. Could be.
Well, I definitely contribute a lot of my success to those summer workouts.
Sure.
And being able to be successful from putting in that outside work. Favorite memory, it's really tough because we fell short every single varsity season of
It's
a
tough.
sectional final.
It's tough.
Always got that damn burnt
but
nose.
yeah, I was gonna say, but my favorite memory was senior year. We went down to Burn Hills, and we played them in football, and we put up 40 points, won by 20, which was definitely
Yeah, Liam had
you know-
6 touchdowns, right?
Yeah, Liam had 6 touchdowns. I had a blocked punt.
Nice.
And it felt so good after losing for so many years to actually go to their home and really put it on them.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we fell short later
Yeah.
that season, but listen, that's why I'm here. I'm
Yeah.
here to come back, beat Burn Hills. Coaching memory, I'd say going to Columbia. We played a JV game at Columbia this year. We didn't really know, how it was going to go.
Sure.
I thought it was going to
kinda-
be a close game.
Yeah, I did too. It was kind of up in the air. But we went down there and we played our hearts out and we won by, a good majority, 40 points. Everyone got to get in the game. Kids were smiling. Like, it was just a great atmosphere.
Yeah. it's the
So
best.
that's just like, that's what you work for. You want, kids to have that enjoyment and success.
The
in
frustrating
sports.
thing is we have like 3 or 4 games that should be memories,
I know.
but we just
Yeah.
haven't been able to close out those close games.
tough.
Yeah.
Builds
We're just
character.
right there. It does,
It does.
absolutely.
Kind of like those
Yeah.
Yankees last night.
Yeah.
Gosh, don't get me started on that. Awful. So with that first season for modified soccer, when you guys were dealing with a few losses,
Sure.
With those kids, would they get down on themselves? Were they tough on themselves? Like, how do
Yeah.
you coach them and try to bring them back, lift them up?
Sure. I think one of the things I kind of pointed to that year was that with our varsity program, we're AA now. So the schools that we play in the foothills that we may have lost to last year, we'll play them again in our senior year, like kind of just like always telling them like, hey, listen, modified's all about improvement. We'll make mistakes. We learn from them. But everything we do is to prepare ourselves for sectionals in our last few years here. So I remember those guys showing up to as many varsity home games as possible. Like, they were so committed, and I'd hang out over on the sidelines with them for a little bit and just kind of point things out. So like, I guess in terms of like coaching them up, like always just reminding them like it's okay to make mistakes. I encourage us to take chances and take risks out on the field. But as long as we're improving and getting ready for the next few years, right? Like, mistakes happen. We just learn from them. One of the things I started doing that year too was recording game film for modified soccer, and just the amount of stuff that they can see from our VO camera up high versus down on the field, huge game changer.
Yeah.
And to me, soccer is one of those interesting sports where it's 11 guys out on the field and they have to figure it out themselves. We can't call timeouts. There's really no set plays unless it's a corner or a free kick. So to get those guys to like think for themselves and work together as a team to figure out what situation they're in and find a way out is huge. So I would do film sessions in Coach Burke's room, and he had a bunch of like small whiteboards. So I'd put them in groups on tables. I'd say, watch the next 5 minutes of game film and write down everything you see. And then we'd have
like
like group
that.
discussions. Yeah.
It was cool. Yeah.
So
I
it
like
kind of
that.
tied back
Different
into
approach.
Yeah.
It's really cool because we were learning a lot. This was while I was going to Russell Sage for phys ed too. So we were learning about all the different teaching methods, and one of my favorite was like convergent discovery, where you send a group off on their own to work things out, and then they come back and explain how they figured it out to the rest of the group.
Yep.
So it was super cool being able to do that with soccer, and I want to say like test run it so that we can do it over at the elementary school now too. It's kind of all connected, but yeah, I guess the simple answer to your question is making sure they know it's okay to make mistakes as long as we learn from them.
Yeah. I like that approach.
Yeah,
That's
that's
cool.
really
Like,
cool.
It's
Yeah.
so once you
I,
see
that
it
wouldn't be a bad
happening-
thing for us to try.
Yeah.
No,
Again,
not at all.
Just
yeah.
so, because like when it's us coaches, we're just running the film.
Right.
You don't even know if
Well,
they're
give
paying
'em-
attention
yeah,
half
give
the
'em
time.
5 plays, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
watch or group
Why
'em
did
by
this play
position.
work? Why did this play not
Yeah,
work?
group 'em by position.
Right.
Put the offensive line, put the backs in
Right.
one, put the offense and defense. And
I like
organize 'em.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
cool.
I
Thanks,
just feel like
Coach Chambers.
I feel like as a student, as a player, if you're just constantly told what to do all the time, you're never really figuring out for yourself
Absolutely.
why it's important.
Right.
And if you can get them, especially at the modified level, to understand why it's important, then they just take it with them to JV and varsity,
Mhm.
and it makes everybody's job, I guess, that much easier by the time they get there.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I like that.
That's
Thanks.
a great answer.
Appreciate it.
That was so good. I don't even know what my question was. What did I ask
yeah, I
you?
forgot.
When kids get down on themselves,
Oh,
how
yeah.
does he lift them back up?
Yeah. Do you have anything?
I mean, I could echo everything. I think, like you said, learning from your mistakes is like the biggest thing. You know,
Right.
when we get into a film session, we tell the kids like we're not, pointing out specific people
Exactly.
to make you feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
We want you guys to kind of like observe what's happening and learn from those mistakes, so that in the future, we can capitalize on growing from where we might have missed in some areas.
Right. Yeah.
Do you guys have any teachers or coaches or people along the line that influenced you to be in the position that you're at right now?
Yeah, I can definitely say Joel Brown was my 10th grade global teacher.
Yep.
And he was really the first person, I never really had a crazy love for history, but he was really the first person that inspired me, to go out of my own way and start to learn history. And it helped because he was my football coach as well. So being able to see, he's got such a great personality. Like, I love the guy, and, I can't wait to talk to him again.
You can't say
and
a
tell
bad
him
word
how
about
I
that
feel.
guy.
No. But he was one of the people that, like, as a young age, as a 10th grader, just, getting comfortable in the high school and in my position where I was, really influenced me to kind of just go above and beyond.
Sure.
And then above on that, I would say Crossman as a coach too. He's so laid back and casual, but he's watching your every move. And, encouraging you in the off season, and finding different ways to help improve. And he's always thinking about football, and he's always doing as much as he possibly can for us as players to grow.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Two
I
good
think
guys.
I think for me, there's a few. So in terms of, like, a lot of my coaching philosophy comes from working with Coach Karate. Being a player of his and then working, like, side by side him, I've just learned an insane amount of not even just, like, how to be a good coach, but just how to be a good person. He taught us, through high school. He was my PE teacher. Through soccer, he was my coach. Just, like, how to be a good person, how to work through adversity, how to come together as a team. So those are things I took with me when I left Queensbury. And then when I came back, obviously working with him again certainly helps, but the elementary PE staff helped me through so much while I was subbing and going to school for PE. So I got to give a shout out to Coach Ryan, Coach Huth, Coach Hubert, just, like, shaping my views and goals with PE to what they are today.
Getting you on that track.
Yeah, they were
Beautiful.
so helpful. And Mrs. Bergen, when she was the elementary assistant principal, she gave me my first summer job for summer academy for elementary PE. So it was really cool to take what I've been working on in school and trying with subbing and, like, kind of having my own program. So I could see what worked, what didn't, reflect on it. And it was smaller classes, so I could try a bunch of new stuff. It was really cool.
I was gonna say it's really cool, like, for both of us to take our experiences here.
Yeah.
Still having those coaches around, and then be able to put our own personal twist on it.
Right.
And, like,
Take a little bit of here, a little
take
bit
a
of
little
there.
bit of here, a little bit of there. Yep.
Yeah.
And then combine
Make your
it
own
into its
philosophy
own. Yeah.
for
Exactly.
teaching and coaching.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it just builds on what the people have created before us as well.
Yeah. Keeping those same goals, but
Exactly.
shaping it a different way. It's awesome.
Absolutely. So you guys are obviously busy. Run me through a typical day.
You want to start?
Yeah, just run me through a
Sure,
typical
sure.
day in your life.
You're probably busier than us, Coach Conway.
Me?
Yeah.
That's all right. It's about you guys.
Okay.
All right, so let's go. I'll go with a Tuesday because Tuesday is probably my busiest day. Wake up, grab my lunch, head to school, probably grab a cup of coffee. Usually grab a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
How do you like your
Smart.
coffee?
Usually just go either black or 2 cream, 2 sugar.
Nice.
Smart.
Nothing crazy.
You were Stewart's, Dunkin', Starbucks.
I've been on a Dunkin' run. I had
Sure.
a gift card,
Yeah,
so
smart.
I let that one got me through the fall.
Yep.
But sometimes the lines are too long, and sometimes I'm in a rush. So
Yeah.
it really doesn't matter to me. And then I'll typically try to get to school, a half an hour early, or if not more.
Yep.
If I'm not, in the weight room working out at 6 o'clock in the morning, which I try to do most days. And then, a typical day, I've got usually a HODA class every day, and I've got, 1 or 2 global classes. So I'll go through my normal, routine and teaching. And then after school, we got practice. So head over to JV practice, whether we're in the weight room or we're on the field, or it's Thursday and we have a game. And then, so when school will end, I'll just get plenty of time, which is actually about 10 minutes, to go home.
You make it work,
to
right?
eat some dinner, yeah, and then I'm headed out to Saratoga, and I have rugby practice.
Nice.
That'll go from typically 7 to 9 or 6 to 8 o'clock.
Cool.
So I still get to get my athlete,
Yeah.
my running in for the day and my sports in for the day, and then by the time I get home, I'm either just doing some work for tomorrow or putting on a history podcast.
Sure.
And taking a shower and going to bed.
Cool.
That's a
Yeah,
busy,
day.
It's a
jam-packed
busy
day.
day.
That's
Yeah,
that's
it is.
busy.
The weeks fly by.
Oh, yes, they
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
My usual day, usually up by 5:30. I head over to the gym for like an hour and 20. I'll head home, make breakfast. I'm pretty big on like cooking for myself, so that takes up a good amount of time. Shower, get ready for work.
Not a meal prep guy.
I do meal prep, but like I can't do like the same thing.
Yeah.
Multiple. I
Understandable.
can,
Mhm. You like to eat something different.
Yeah,
every day.
switch it up.
Yeah,
I feel like you
I know
have
what you
to.
mean. Yeah.
So I'll get ready for work, head to work. I can do coffee, but lately I've been on Alani's. They've got the seasonal witch's
still
brew
gotta try
flavor.
those.
I heard one of my students had the other day is caramel apple.
Yeah, oh, it's fire.
It is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's phenomenal. I'll bring in a few for you guys. They're so good. Not the best for you, I think, but what are you gonna do? And then working at the elementary school with PC over there and Coach McDermott. Whether I'm pushing into classrooms, courtyard, gym, those days fly by. And I mean, we see how many kids? 200 kids a day, easy, something like
Yeah,
that.
I'd say at least.
So those days fly by, especially when we're doing, like this week, we're doing our Halloween obstacle course, and the kids are like losing their minds over
That's
it.
so
It's
cool.
so much fun over there. Today they'll all be dressed up, so it'll be a
It'll be
little bit
something.
crazy, but
Mhm.
we'll do our best to keep it under wraps.
All sugared up too.
Yep. And then usually I'm at practice. It's been nice to have like a week and a half off from that, so I can get some stuff done after
Mhm.
school. But typically heading to practice after school, and then I'll have club team coming up too. So basketball starts soon. Club team soccer starts soon. So out of the house 5:30 and getting home, I don't know, 7, 8 o'clock. So
Yep.
busy days.
Busy.
And then men's league kicks off too soon at the Dome. So
Wow.
after now,
Mhm.
but yeah,
So
busy day.
do you guys still have the haunted house that you do in the gym?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the one.
That's
yeah.
the
We
one.
set
That's the
up-
obstacle course.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
We
gonna be
set up
s-
the
I rem-
parachutes
See,
this
like,
week.
I'm so many years removed from elementary
Yeah.
school, but I remember that.
Yeah.
We do
Like,
we do the
course I
parachute.
did.
We have a cave.
Yeah.
We do like a snake pit where we're like walking over
We set up the
a thing
cargo
of
net the
snakes.
other day,
yeah,
too.
so that's like our spider web.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So
Yeah.
we do like a pumpkin toss, Halloween target throw.
Yeah.
So we're using all those skills and
Mhm.
like they don't even realize it,
Yeah.
and we're combining it all
Making
together into one
fun
big obstacle
game.
course, and
Yeah.
they love it.
Yeah.
And it's so
That's
funny, like all the middle schoolers and the high schoolers that come in for swimming,
Swimming, yeah.
they pass by and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
remember this!" So
They're
it like
so
sticks with
jealous.
them
Yeah.
forever.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
And then we'll
it
go
is.
in, we'll scare the kids too in the cave.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's the
Some of
best.
them ask us. It's really cool. We've been doing like the last 5 minutes. We've done like a turn and talk with the kids. Like, what would you add to the course? Stuff that you want to do. And
Mhm.
and they brought up like the cargo net a bunch. So we added that yesterday,
Yeah.
and they had a blast with it. So and then we'll do just like silly ones like, what are you gonna be for Halloween? What's your favorite candy?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we reward them over there with character cash. So they're all
And they love getting scared. They want the cave to
They
be
really do.
spookier.
They
The
do.
best is when you scare a kid so bad he falls back.
Yep.
Sits right on the ground.
Yep.
Um,
It's a good time.
what are your goals for the future, either short term or within the next 5 years or so? Do you guys have any goals?
Sure. Yeah, there's 2 that I'm really working on right now. So I've got to get my master's, and I'm going to do that in health education. It's a good idea. I know that there's some teachers over here that are health ed certified that are looking, they're going to be done pretty soon. So just having that as a backup, is useful to the district. So that's something I want to pursue. And then in terms of coaching, I'm working towards my Class D license. So through the U.S. Soccer Learning Center, you have to have like grassroots certification to coach club teams. So like 9v9 would be like 12 and under, 11v11 is 14 and under, and then Class D is just one of the like many steps towards like a professional certification. So over at Empire City, we work towards those. It's cool. It's a bunch of like online hybrid learning, and then you'll go down to one of the AFIRM centers, like usually the one by the airport, and do like in-person stuff with some of the club teams down there. So like my first one, we got to work with New York Elite, Alley Cat FC, which was really cool because those
Nice.
those kids
Yeah.
take it very seriously.
Awesome.
But you just learn so much working with other coaches, working with the U.S. soccer professionals. It's really cool, and like I said, it just gives you so much perspective on different things you can take with you, and yeah.
I was
So
gonna say that'll give you so much to bring back
Yeah.
to Queensbury as
Yeah.
well.
And I
and
use-
share with other coaches.
it's really cool. They use like a play model, especially at like the younger levels where they learn so much just through playing. So it's like if it's a 90-minute session, and I'll tweak it based on like what we need, but it's supposed to be like 30 minutes of like small-sided free play, just working on like creating space, and then 30 minutes of like practicing game situations. So there's no like set plays that we can practice. We just work on scenarios you might find yourself in, and then reinforce that with more gameplay. So it's like
That is the best way to learn.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you see it. We do it all the time at the elementary school where we'll do our warm up where it's kind of the play phase, so they can just get moving. We'll do skill shaping and development, and then reinforce with the game. So it's cool that it all ties into each
Yeah,
other.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yep.
So I'm in the same boat. I have to do my master's, but I'll be doing my master's in literacy.
Sure.
Especially with HODA, taking on IB, and being able to build up students' writing skills. I think it's really huge. No matter which direction you pursue, especially if you're going to college, like having those basic writing skills are really necessary.
Yeah.
So I'll be working on that. And then so short-term goals will be I'm looking to coach. I don't want to spoil anything, but I'm looking to coach JV lacrosse in the spring.
Sure.
So that'll kind of be like my first opportunity to really in like a lead role, where I'll be able to
nice.
make those decisions.
Very
How I
cool.
want to run practices, how I want players to work on their skills, and
Right.
so just preparing for that, and then getting to know some of those lacrosse players in the winter, whether it be like at the Dome or getting into some indoor leagues, or some early birds practice
Sure.
in the spring.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited for that as well.
Nice.
Sweet.
Yeah, I will say the literacy piece is huge because as someone who started off as history and then switched to phys ed, like the papers I had to write for phys ed were super
Yeah.
ezy, but
Yeah.
because I had the literacy
Literacy
background for
background, yeah.
history, I just like knock it out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really cool.
That's great.
Yep.
All right. A few more fun questions.
Sure.
Favorite artist?
Music?
Yeah.
That's tough.
That's a loaded question.
I've been listening to
Yeah.
a lot of Corday lately.
Okay.
Like him. I mean, if I had to go back to like what I listened to a lot, like growing up, like high school and whatnot with my buddies, was a lot of Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
So like
Nice.
the popular ones. But I mean, I can kind of listen to anything.
Yeah.
You got me into country over at the elementary
Yes,
school.
let's go.
Because you'd be surprised how many kids love it over there.
I know.
They really do.
They do.
It'll come on and be like, "It's my favorite song," and I'm like, "All right, great."
I was being held back.
I know
God.
you were. Yep. Now
Got
you're
loose
free,
with it.
you're free to spread your wings.
Yeah. Huth hates country.
Yeah.
Oh,
Coach-
really?
Coach
Yeah.
Ryan couldn't do it
Could
either.
not.
Yep.
Yeah, I was just my music taste is all over the place.
Yeah.
I feel like in high school I just listened to like what was popular.
Sure.
And what everyone else listened to,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then like as I kind of grew away, my music expanded. So
Sure.
like you could put my Spotify playlist on shuffle, and you could get Mozart, and then you could get like the exact opposite,
Yeah.
the next song, whether it's like heavy like electronic music that I'd be like listening to in the gym,
Yep.
or like
And it all hits
everything
the same.
in between. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I don't really have a favorite artist right now. I've been really diving deep into history podcasts. I got
Sure.
this guy, his name's Dan Carlton, and he just goes super in depth and makes everything super relatable. So I'm like 14 hours in to like
Wow.
a World War II podcast, and
Nice.
it just like solely specifies on like the Pacific Front, so like the interactions with Japan, and
Yeah.
so that's really what I've been kind of listening to and from in school.
Nice.
That's
recently,
cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
What's your
That's so-
favorite place to eat?
I think I'm a cooker like you.
Yeah.
I like to make my meals.
Yeah. If you had to go out though.
If I had to go out,
Yeah.
that's a tough one.
These are the tough
I'd
questions.
say
I know.
hibachi.
Sure.
I've been on like a sushi grind
All right.
lately. And I love hibachi is probably my favorite.
Yeah.
So Mikado's
Okay.
a good one. Yeah.
I think you know what I'm gonna say. We got it at superintendent's conference day. Tacos Kings, Jalisco.
Oh, that's your favorite?
Yeah, it's
Oh, so
phenomenal.
good.
Yeah, and it's right next to the gym too.
Oh,
So I'll be
so
like
good.
wrapping up, and I'll be like hitting my last like 5-10 minutes of cardio or whatever, and I'll just call, be like, "Hey, can I place an order for pickup?"
Those
Kings?
quesadillas.
Yeah, you know.
It's
you
like it's a
ever
new
been?
place
No, I've
over in
never
Glens
heard of it.
Falls.
Phenomenal.
No.
Yeah.
So good.
I'll have to put that on my list.
Yeah.
Do it,
I'm a
do it.
big taco fan.
Oh, it's phenomenal. Those quesadillas are
burritos,
great. Yeah.
too.
Oh yeah.
Who's your favorite athlete?
Okay. You wouldn't know him. His name's Anton Dupont.
Rugby.
Yeah, French rugby player. He played with France for the World Cup. They lost in like the semifinals, so they ended up losing to South Africa, who won the whole thing. And he's like a freak athlete, like international athlete. So he kind of was like, so in rugby there's 15s and 7s, and they're like totally separate. No one plays both of them. He's so good that he went and played 7s in the Olympics in Paris in the summer, and then they won a gold.
Wow.
So like, super impressive athlete. He's a master of his craft. So
Yeah. I don't know if you know mine either, but so when I first started watching soccer, I'm a huge Chelsea fan, and I remember in 2012, Didier Drogba was just like the most unstoppable striker for Chelsea. So we played Bayern Munich in the Champions League, which is like the best teams from Europe all play each other, and it's very rare that a team has home field advantage. It's always like a neutral venue decided earlier in the year. And Chelsea had to go to Bayern Munich at their home stadium for the finals, which was tough. And they gave up a goal in like the 83rd or 84th minute to go down 1-0. And Drogba scored like the most insane header like 5 minutes later in stoppage time to tie the game. And they ended up winning on penalties.
Wow.
So that was like my first real memory as like a Chelsea fan. So,
Nice.
Yeah, he's always been up there for me.
That's cool.
is he still playing now?
He's not. He was playing. He came over to the MLS for a little bit with Toronto, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him, coaching pretty soon here.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys after
Yep.
they finish turn coaches.
Oh,
so
yeah. A lot of 'em.
it's really cool to see. Like Xabi Alonso just took Bayer Leverkusen to their first like undefeated season in Bundesliga history, which was crazy because nobody expected them to do that the year before. So, yeah,
That's cool.
Yep.
What's your favorite hobby?
That's tough. I have so many. I'm an outdoors guy. I love getting outdoors. I love golf.
Yep.
Golf's up there.
Yep.
Coach Edwards was here, I get out and play with him all the time. But golfing, fishing, hiking, just getting outside, away from everything. Usually away from people too. So.
Yeah, I think it changes like seasonally. Like summer, I'm same exact way. Like getting out on the lake, whether
Yep.
it's on the boat or whether it's hiking or just even sitting on the dock. And then fall rolls around, it's rugby season.
Sure.
So, I'm busy. My afternoons and my weekends are packed with rugby.
Yep.
Then winter, I'm a big skier. So I'm excited to start to get on the mountain a little bit.
Yeah,
and,
nice.
hit the slopes.
Yep.
Super relaxing, like just enjoyable, and you're outdoors and it's beautiful. So.
Yeah.
Cool.
My first job ever was ski instructor for West Mountain.
Really?
Yeah, it was cool. I used to just walk through my backyard, cut across West
Yeah.
Mountain Road, and I'd be there.
Nice.
So.
Mhm.
A couple more. What's your biggest pet peeve?
Oh boy.
That's
And
a tough
this
one. I
is
don't
like
know.
teaching related. Or
Doesn't
just in
have to be.
general?
Just in general.
I'm usually pretty laid back.
All right.
There's not a lot that
I
gets
think
me
I got one.
frustrated.
Yeah.
One is when someone has potential, and they don't kind of like meet that potential.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like, if someone is capable of doing something, but they either don't put the effort in, or just totally don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Like it's like, come on, you
I
are
think-
destined for greatness.
Yeah.
What are you holding back?
That's the hardest part,
What
is
are you
trying to
waiting
motivate
for?
them and
Yeah.
make them realize, like as a coach or a teacher, that you have something that I wish I had.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can piggyback off that too, because when there's kids that like gravitate towards that,
Mhm.
it just makes it so tough.
Mhm.
So, yeah, there's a lot of guys out there who could be good leaders, whether it's for good or bad. It's kind of up to them, but we do our best to point them in the right direction.
Yeah.
So.
Do you have a pet peeve? Or no. You can piggyback
I
off of that.
don't know. I don't like slow drivers.
Fair.
That's a good one. That's a
yeah,
good one.
if I got somewhere to be, I want to get there. So.
Fair.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it. I'm pretty laid back most of the time.
All right. Last question I'll ask you. What's your ideal vacation?
Oh, that's a good one too.
I don't know. I just took a really cool one before the school year.
I did too.
Like a week before the school year, I was like, "Oh, am I gonna get back before superintendent's conference day?" Like that'd be bad if I wasn't there for my first year. But
Where'd you go?
me, my twin Connor, our buddy John Meacham, and one of his college buddies, we went to Machu Picchu, Peru.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
so
Yeah,
cool.
so we hiked the Inca Trail for 4 days, 3 nights with a local guide, and then the last day was at Machu Picchu. So yeah, it was really cool. The altitude was like the craziest thing.
Yeah.
It was like 12,000
Losing your
feet up.
breath.
Yeah, so
Mm.
even like walking down the stairs of the plane when you landed, you're like, wow, I'm in like a different world right
Mhm.
now. So, but it was awesome, phenomenal.
Anywhere else you'd want to go though?
I mean, I got to get over to London and see a Chelsea game at some point.
Yeah.
So
You
but
gotta.
I know, but I don't know in terms of like I'm more of a like get out and explore versus go do like all like the mainstream stuff. So
Mhm.
the Machu Picchu trip was like perfect for me.
Yeah.
So if I could do something again and go see like one of the other, Seven Wonders or something
Mhm.
like that, that's more my style.
Yeah, so I went on vacation over the summer for about two weeks, almost 3 weeks.
Nice.
I got a buddy that I play rugby with out in France,
Cool.
and so we were in Paris for the Olympics.
Sweet.
Got to tour around the city and kind of like assimilate to the culture, hang out with his friends, eat the food that they eat there. It was really cool because it was like a vacation, but I wasn't a tourist.
Right.
In the sense, like I had someone who could speak, fluent French and could
Yeah.
kind of guide me around and tell me where to go and kind of just live like someone in France would. For a vacation that I would want to do would be Australia.
Cool.
So yeah, I have another college buddy who just moved out there. And so I'd have somewhere to stay, and it's just so beautiful out there, and like it's just like you
It
said
looks
with Machu
awesome.
Picchu, it's another world.
Yeah,
like
it really is.
it's across the entire world.
Yep.
They play rugby all the time, so you can just literally go anywhere and find a team or a game to go to. So yeah, definitely Australia.
I would like to play golf in Japan. That'd be
Yeah.
really cool.
They have night golf, don't they?
Yeah, their culture over there for golf is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have hole-in-one insurance over there. Because like there's the whole stipulation, if you hit a hole-in-one, you gotta like buy everyone around at the bar and whatnot. So they have you covered over there. If you hit a hole-in-one, they have like an insurance policy that pays out, so you don't have to like pay out of pocket for it. It's pretty cool.
Sorry, I'm a little starstruck right now. We have a handsome man just walk through the door.
Yeah, we do.
You want to come say hi real quick?
How dare you say that?
We actually talked about you earlier today.
Yeah.
We did, yeah. We mentioned you.
Only good things.
Look at that face.
Only good things.
That belongs on a billboard. That is
What
beautiful.
are we doing today?
We're actually wrapping up a podcast.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Do you have-
What are we doing today?
Coach Conway, I think you rip off one of the questions to him, see what he's got.
Oh no.
Yeah, they're good questions.
All right, I'm nervous.
I'm going basic with him. I just want to know a day in the life of you. You're the most interesting man in the world.
Wow. I can't give it all up. I
You have
can't give
to.
it up
You're
like
on the
that.
spot.
No.
We're
It's
live, Coach.
it's all it's all just a dream. That's
Yeah.
it. That's all you
all
can
just
do.
a dream.
Yeah. Every day.
Fair enough.
Little biggie. It's a little biggie in there. Yeah.
Sure.
Thanks for seeing that.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Okay. In terms of hobbies, I know you're a golf guy.
I try to.
Yep.
It's fun to play.
Yep.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
What's been your favorite memory as a coach?
Oh.
Yeah, that's
boy,
a loaded one.
There's like a million things that just hit me all at once. But I had one from yesterday. Okay.
Whoa,
yesterday,
let's go.
Yesterday, this is the quote of the week. We're playing some
told me
form
this.
of a football game in class.
Sure.
And a kid drops a super easy pass, like right in his lap. And then the other kid turns and looks at him and goes, "Who played catch with you?"
Oh, that's tough.
Like that's the spontaneity. Like that's the best thing. You
That's
just
tough.
never know what's gonna come at you.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep. I was telling these guys I found in my car the other day, like a ticket stub for 2014, the football finals at the Syracuse Dome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I should probably bring this in and give it to you.
That was a good first quarter.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Good first quarter.
Maybe half. We'll go half.
Sure.
After that, we just blocked it out.
Yep.
But, yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, appreciate you
Hey,
guys.
thanks
Thanks
for coming
for
on. This
stopping
was
by.
awesome.
Yeah.
Special
Have a great
guest.
Halloween. Any Halloween plans?
I'm handing out candy this year.
Favorite Halloween candy?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm off the beaten path. I'm a Heath bar kind of guy.
Heath
Wow.
bar?
You might be the only one.
Wow.
Especially if it's frozen. Like,
Yeah.
Any candy bar frozen is just better.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Hey, thank
Hey.
you.
Have
Thank
a nice
you.
Halloween.
As long
Thank
as it's
you.
not Whoppers.
Yeah, that's true.
What's your favorite Halloween candy?
I don't know.
I'm gonna take 5.
Take five?
Yeah,
Really?
the peanut butter and chocolate.
It's got a little bit
is
of
my
everything.
favorite. So like Reese's would be my basic answer,
Sure.
but you put like the little caramel and the pretzel in there, and you get
Yeah.
the salty and the sweet, and super underrated. Like you won't find it at a a checkout line.
No.
So you gotta work for it.
I know.
So it's worth
It's worth
you
it.
gotta Find it.
It's
Yeah.
the delayed satisfaction.
Yeah.
There it is. I don't know. You know what we haven't heard a lot of at the elementary school when we ask is Snickers. But like
Yeah.
that's mine for
Yeah.
sure.
We hear spicy Skittles.
Yeah,
Whatever that is.
Spicy
I didn't even
Skittles.
know that.
I was like, do you guys,
existed.
I was like, do you guys mean sour Skittles? And they're like, no, spicy. And I'm like, okay. I was like, maybe I'll get a bag or something. I don't know.
Let's test it out.
Yeah.
All right, Coach Chambers, we got to hurry on out to bus duty.
Yeah, we do.
Is there any final messages you would like to say before we just wrap this thing up?
Not really. I appreciate you having us on the show.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
for
you
having
guys.
us.
Thank
Yeah.
you guys. It's good to work with both you now.
Yeah, appreciate
After
that.
going to school with you guys for all those years, it's fun to make that whole
Yeah.
whole 180, and now we're on the coaching side,
Yeah.
doing it together. So
Yep.
I appreciate you boys.
Of course.
Again, we got Coach Collins, Coach Chambers. Happy Halloween, everyone. Shout out to our Queensbury JV football team. Hopefully we can get the dub today.
Come out to the
Tonight,
game,
yeah,
4
right.
o'clock.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes. So have a great day, everyone, and get better.